Okay, here we go. We have Curtis Carroll on the show today, a.k.a. Wall Street. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right. How about yourself?
Very good, man. Pleasure to be speaking to you.
Nah, man, the pleasure's all mine, man. I appreciate the opportunity, man, and the platform.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and start at the very beginning. Now, you're currently incarcerated.
Yes, I am currently in San Quentin State Prison.
Okay. Now, what exactly were you convicted of to put you in San Quentin right now?
So I was convicted of first-degree murder, first-degree robbery, attempted murder, and possession of a firearm. And I was sentenced to 54 years to life imprisonment. And I was 17 years old at the time of my offense.
Okay. And how long have you been locked up?
And I've been in prison currently for 21 years.
21 years. So what exactly was the situation around the murder that you committed that you were ultimately, that wound you up in prison?
So the situation was a robbery. It was a robbery. I take full responsibility for. We robbed some young men, and in the process, one of the guys got shot, and both guys got shot, and one died, one didn't. And it was just simple, man. It was just a simple robbery. Being young, being dumb, and made some bad choices. And this was one of the worst choices, and one of the worst experiences that I've ever had in my life and ever made. And for that, a young man lost his life. That's just simple. It's as simple as that.
And I mean, in the course of the robbery, did they try to resist the robbery? Did they try to fight back or something like that, and then it escalated into the murder?
Nah, man, it wasn't even like that, man. It just was just a robbery. It was just a robbery. There wasn't any resisting. Wasn't any of that. Wasn't really supposed to play out the way it did. It just kind of happened, man. It just kind of happened. It wasn't like it was planned, but it wasn't planned to go in and harm anybody. It was just simple. It was a simple robbery. Give me your stuff, and that was it. And in the process, the guy lost his life. But it wasn't anything like that, man. It wasn't any beating anybody up or anybody resisting or anything like that. We were all teenagers at the same time.
Yeah.
So we were all kids. So it wasn't really it wasn't anything elaborate or anything premeditated in a sense like it was just elaborate plan or scheme. It wasn't anything like that.
And how much did you guys actually get from that robbery? What was the dollar amount that you walked away with?
Well, I didn't get anything from it. I didn't get nothing at all from it. And I can't speak for the other parties involved. I don't know what they got, but I didn't get anything at all from the robbery.
Right, but it wasn't like you guys robbed a bank and walked away with $10 million. It was just literally Hell no. It was that's just kind of the point that's just kind of the point I'm trying to make is that all this happened over a few dollars, over what, $100?
Yeah. And it was a lot of it was just impulse, and kind of this thing, growing up in the hood, growing up in an environment of violence and trauma and poverty, and this was just one of those things. Just one of those things that kind of happened like impulse, not being able to control your emotions and kind of acting on, and I got to take full responsibility for that. Although I was a teenager when it happened, we still made the choices. I still made the choices to participate, the role that I played in it. But yeah, man, it wasn't anything like that. It was just like, hey, man, we want some money, and that was it. That was it.
Okay.
And when I think back about it now, I think about now how like it's crazy. I'm thinking back like in my wisdom today, and thinking about it as a teen that like something like that should have never happened. Unfortunately, it did, man. I got to live with that.
Okay. So you're 17 years old, and the judge tells you that you're doing 54 to life. Like, emotionally, what happened to you when you heard that number?
The truth is, man, I was so traumatized just by my experience as growing up in an environment of growing up in Oakland, California, that I was somewhat already desensitized to it. So I didn't even really fully understand what that meant at the time. I was still, held up under this belief system and doctrine that this was just another part of the game, right? This was something that happened. I was either going to end up in prison or be dead, which I always figured I'd be dead. So when he said the words 54 years, it didn't sound like to me like I was going to spend the rest of my life in prison. I didn't really understand the magnitude of that. I was still focusing on, what I was doing while I was locked up, inside the prison, fighting the case, at the time that I was. So I really wasn't able to process fully what that meant, actually receiving 54 years of life in prison, and, the lawyers that we had at the time was like, oh, we're going to appeal it, there's going to appeal process going, so, and I was also still in a state of denial, like, man, like this process, in reality, I'm where I'm at, but this isn't really like real, like at some point, something's going to change. So I really didn't, fully grasp that, man, until years later, as I started to do my time.